students. In the previous video, we studied about the step 3, that is closing the books of accounts in the books of transferor company. So if it is an X and Y company, so X company will be closing the books of accounts of X company. You know that what are the journal entries need to be prepared, how much of the ledger account need to be prepared. Same way, when we close the books of account, close in one account means we need to obviously open the books of accounts, that is it is in the purchasing company account we need to open. So that purchasing company, what is the entries to pass? So here in this will be passing only journal entries, there no ledger account comes into picture. So for opening the entries in the transferor company, we need to find out that, so closing of entry in the books of accounts is quite easy. There might be so much of journal entries, but it is quite easy to understand. But it comes to opening the books of account means you need to see with two accounts. We need to see with two conditions, that if it is in the nature of purchase, amalgamation if it is in the nature of merger, or amalgamation if it is in the nature of purchase. So for that purpose, in the first video we came to know that what are all the conditions for amalgamation in the nature of purchase and what are the conditions in amalgamation in the nature of merger. So if it is in the nature of merger, so this 4 conditions need to be satisfied. Hope you have been written and you know. So that that any one of the conditions or all the conditions need to be satisfied. But if any one of the condition in this is not satisfied, that time we'll be considering that as an amalgamation in the nature of purchase. So while going on with this sum, we'll understand how to distinguish between amalgamation in the nature of merger and amalgamation in the nature of purchase. So moreover, coming on with the journal entries, so here is the first journal entries for purchase consideration due. So now the purchasing company, we are preparing the accounts in the books of, that is journal entries in the books of transferee company. So now we need to know what is the first entries, what is it we need to pay now. So first you will be seeing about, you have already calculated the purchase consideration. So now we need to pass the entry for that purpose. So how to pass the entry? Business purchase account debit to liquidator of transferor company account. So this is so simple. So as you can, if you purchase anything, if you are purchasing anything, what is the basic journal entry you will be preparing? Purchase account debit to cash account. So if you are purchasing on credit, means purchase account debit to whatever the purchase you are purchasing from, that is A account or B account will be, that is the entry. So likewise here we need to see first entry for purchase consideration is business purchase account. We are purchasing the business to liquidators of transferor company. So as you know, who is this liquidator? Means the person who is appointed for the purpose of liquidating the company. In the previous chapter we studied the liquidation. You know liquidator, I hope you should be knowing the liquidator. So that liquidator, why are we giving here as to liquidators of transferor company? Because one thing is, will not be directly paying to the equity shareholders or to the preference shareholders or to owners of the company. First we will be paying into the liquidator. After that liquidator will, what he will do? He will then segregate the value and then he will pay for the remaining value for the equity shareholders or preference shareholders, right? So why? The entry is business purchase account debit to liquidators of transferor company account. So coming on with the next entry for incorporating assets and liabilities taken over. So here first is for purchase consideration, next is for whatever we will be taking the new company, whatever the new company, if it is a Y company means it is taking all the assets and liabilities of the X company. Now how is that will be writing? Various assets, that is if it is a nature of merger. So merger means that is A and B company will be forming an AB company, or it will be given in the question itself, or you need to see for if any all the 4 condition is satisfied or not in the question, right? So we will find out that it is in the nature of merger. So if it is in the nature of merger, the entry will be different. If it is in the nature of purchase, the entry will be different. So this first entry will be same for both the method. For when it comes for incorporator for taking over the assets and liabilities, the entry differs. If it is in nature of merger means various assets account debit, general reserve account debit, that is it is a loss. So for example, assets is 10,000. So let's see this later, to various liabilities. So the liability is 5,000 and the business purchase is 6,000. So we have taken the assets of only 10,000, but we have paid the value of 11,000. So that time 1,000 is the loss for the company. So that loss will be bared or given from general reserve. So that is in the nature of merger I am talking. So for example, next example, at that time this doesn't comes into picture. So example, assets is 10,000 and the various liabilities will be of 4,000, and then you have paid the business purchase worth of 6,000. At that time what happens, you have got 1,000, you are gaining the value, you have paid the less amount, the liabilities is less than assets, right? Net assets is more, the liability is less than the assets. 1,000 you have gained the profits. That time the profits, where the profits will be transferred to, it will be transferred to general reserve account. So you need to see whatever the value you are getting, assets minus liabilities, what this business purchase account determines, that is PC, purchase consideration. If the assets is more and liabilities is less, means you will be arriving at the profit, that is the general reserve capital gain you will be arriving. If the assets is more less than the liabilities, means you will be occurring a loss, right? So this is the entry when it is in the nature of merger. So likewise